What is going on, everybody? Lunc Army, I want you guys to ignore the FUD. I want you guys to not bother with the negativity. Back when Terra Luna originally fell, this became a degen community. We're going to talk about what does it take to get to 1 penny and can it be done? And that's the question that we're going to answer today. And let's kick it off and let's get it done quickly. First of all, we're trading at 9,070, and that in itself gives us we're about 110x away from flipping this over. Now, what does that take? Well, we're at 528 million market cap. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how do we get to a $50 billion market cap? And can we get to a $50 billion market cap? Because if you look at the all-time over here, you'll see that in the last bull market, or around after the bull market was over, into the bear market through April, our market cap was up in the 40 billion ratio. Now, logically speaking, you would think that the opportunity absolutely 100% exists, that perhaps we could come into 50 billion if we get a nice little run. Now, there are some problems that we're going to have to deal with. First among those problems is Bitcoin dominance is getting higher and higher and higher. So we better have a great package and we better have a great presentation in order to create value for this community. So how do we get this kind of number? Well, we'll start with the repeg. The repeg will create less tokens over time, but that's for a future time, and that will do it. But here's the number right now, 110x from where we are right now. That ends up being about $55 billion. How do we get to $55 billion? And that's going to be execution. That's going to be creating value for this ecosystem. Remember, it was at 40 billion before, under Do Kwon, and it was working with it was a lending, it was a borrowing platform. There were plenty of things that were going on. There was a lot of life in this market. So we're going to need some life to come into this market. Now, if we can go from 1 trillion market cap, which we're at right now, to about a 3 trillion market cap, where does that put us? Just by virtue of being in that market. And that turns this into a much more interesting situation, because that immediately, with almost certainty, moves us up into a 1.5 billion market cap. Now that market cap, again, that's not the end of it. That's just the start. Now, we get up about, let's call it 11x from where we are right now. That drops a 0. So let's understand that. 11x from where we are right now up to about a 5.2 billion market cap would drop a 0. Give us a great place from which to spring forward and to bounce off of and from to the next level. That's going to take a repeg. It will take a repeg, by the way. But again, that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. What we need is 50 billion in market. So do we have that right now? And the answer to that is simply it doesn't exist, because it doesn't exist in the market. Is there 50 billion in the marketplace? Yes, there is. Is it designated for Terra Classic? No, everything is designated for Bitcoin right now. So that's what we're gonna have to deal with for a little bit of time. Now, when it does come, we could look at this right here, 5.8 trillion in circulating supply. If we could reduce that by a factor of 50%, let's say, if we could reduce that, cut it in half, then that would effectively double this price and turn a 100x into a 50x, very simply. So that turns the requirement here down to 25 billion. And as you can hear in your mind, that's starting to sound a little bit better and a little bit more doable. So the question and the answer, can we get to a penny? The answer to that is absolutely yes. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of future content. And we will talk to you again very, very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was strong? I ain't mean to call you that.